Mabuhay! Ako po si Catriona Gray, ang inyong NCCA Arts Ambassador. Inaanyayahan kayong manood at tumutok dito sa Padayon, the NCCA Hours. Halina't ma-inspire sa mga kwento ng pag-asa, makisaya sa kwentuhang puno ng kaalaman, at matuto sa ating sining at kultura. At para laging updated sa mga kaganapang pangkultura, bisitahin, i-like, sundan at mag-subscribe sa Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter account at YouTube channel ng National Commission for Culture and the Arts sa @NCCA Official. Muli, ito po si Catriona Gray. Padayon na, sulong na!
Ang mga opinyon, kuro-kuro at pananaw na ipapahayag ng mga panauhin at mga tagapagdaloy ay hindi sa programa, sa pamunuan o ng ahensyang ito.
Tamang kaalaman tungo sa malayang kaisipan. Ako po si Ferdy Isleta.
Ang kultura ay susi sa kadakilaan. Ako po si Annie Luis.
Isang oras lang ang kailangan. Ako po si Renena Peñas. Ito ang
Padayon the NCCA Hour.
Sulong na!
Padayon the NCCA Hour.
Sulong na!
Mabuhay! Isang makulay buhay na hapon, mga kapadayon. O mga partners, bakit ba ang ganda ng ating mga kasuotang makukulay at tila napaka-happy at festive ng ating mood ngayong hapon?
Mga kapadayon partners, ang inihanda nating episode ngayong hapon ay specially made for children. Mapapanood natin ngayon ang isang espesyal na animation series na tumatampok sa mga Filipino values. Ito ay ang Heneral Tuna.
At syempre mga partners, nariyan pa rin ang ating sining galaw at sining inspirasyon.
Lahat ng iyan, ebangan ninyo dito lamang sa inyong paboritong weekend online cultural program tuwing Sabado at Linggo, alas 3 ng hapon, dito lamang sa
Padayon the NCCA Hour.
Manood ng makasining na pagtatanghal ng ating mga Filipinong artista dito lamang sa Sining Galaw.
Just something to admire, cause it shines like a mirror, and I can't help but notice you reflect in this heart of mine. If you ever feel lonely, the glare makes me hard to find. Just know that I'm always parallel on the other side. Cause with your head in my hands and a pocket full of soul, I can tell you there's no place we could've gone. Just put your hand on the glass, I've been trying to pull you through. You just gotta be strong, cause I don't wanna lose you now. I'm looking right at the other half of me. The vacancy that's in my heart is a space, and now you're home. Show me how to fight for now, and I tell you baby, it was easy coming back into you once I figure it out. You're right, you're alone. It's like in a mirror, my mirror staring back at me. I couldn't get any bigger with anyone else beside me. And now it's clear as this promise that we'll make it. two reflections into one. Cause it's like in a mirror. My mirror staring back at me, staring back at me. But you're something and original. Cause it doesn't seem like yourself. The way to get at my seconds as the truth somewhere in your eyes. I can never change without you. You reflect me, I love that about you. And if I could, I would count us all the time. Just with your hand in your hand and a pocket full of soap, I can tell you there's no place we could go. Just put your hand on the glass, I've been trying to pull you through. You just gotta be strong. 'Cause I don't wanna lose you now. I'm looking right at the other half of me. The vacancy that's set in my heart is a space and now you're home. Show me how to fight for now. And I'll tell you, baby, it was easy coming back into you once I figure it out. You were right here all along. It's like in my mirror. My mirror staring back at me. I couldn't get any bigger with anyone else beside me. And now it's clear as this promise that we're making two reflections into one. Cause it's like in my mirror. My mirror staring back at me, staring back at me. It's like in my mirror. My mirror staring back at me. I couldn't get any bigger with anyone else beside me. And now it's clear as this promise that we're making two reflections into one. Cause it's like in my mirror. My mirror staring back at me, staring back at me.
Last year, nasilip natin ang pilot episode ng kauna-unahang NCCA teleserye na Project Destination, kung saan bida ang balikbayang si Andre na gustong makilala ang kanyang pinagmulan sa Ifugao.
Ngayong Agosto naman, ngayong taon, natunghayan natin ang iba't ibang mga kwento mula sa ating mga rehiyon, tampok ang pagpapahalagang Pilipino sa Sine Halaga Film Festival.
At bilang pangatlong proyekto na kukumpleto sa unang bugso ng NCCA Filipino Values Formation Program, subaybayan naman natin ang paglalakbay ng isang kakaibang bida na mula sa ibang planeta. Hatid ng National Commission for Culture and the Arts at Rocket Ship Studios, narito na si
Heneral Tuna!
When we first got the project, I was very worried because it's commissioned by a government agency. Government agency equals very institutional, very boring, very rigid. But I was surprised that the reason we were picked was because they wanted the opposite of all that. So that was cool. But still, in any project, I'm always anxious because I know every project is hard. So it wasn't like it was like, yay, let's make this. It was more of like brainstorming and worrying that we are able to stay on budget and on schedule. But now that it's finished, I'm happy and excited for people to watch it. One of the earlier concepts that we presented was, since we knew that we needed to talk about Filipino values and how best to teach it. We always needed an interesting character who would need to learn these values. So we proposed different characters. One was a young child adventurer who traveled through time. That was meant to be like a young Rizal who fast forwarded to the future and learned all about the Philippines. And then another concept was a robot that an old scientist built, and he had to learn how to be human. And another one was, I think, a high schools of tikbalangs and manananggals who had to learn what it was like to be a Filipino and stop eating them.
Alam niyo ba that this project is part of the government plan? This is under the Philippine Development Plan, Chapter 7. And we have updated the Philippine Development Plan, Chapter 7, which is on promoting Philippine culture and values towards bayanihan. There are 4 goals to this Philippine Development Plan, particularly on values and culture. The first is the value of creative excellence advance, no? So gusto natin mas maging malikhain. Pangalawa, yung diversity of cultures valued. Ito po yung pagkakaiba-iba man ng ating mga kultura, ethno-linguistic groups, but we see there is unity in diversity. The third goal is to promote culture-sensitive governance and development. We want that our governance, how our leaders would spearhead the nation will be about sensitivity. And of course, the values for the common good inculcated. Now, in the National Values Program, we have an upcoming National Values Program. But what are values? Values are ideals shared by a group that guide our behavior. Di ba natutunan natin yan nung bata pa tayo, sa ating mga pamilya, sa ating paaralan, at kahit siguro yung mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon na may edad na patuloy pa rin ang mga pagpapahalaga. Yan naman ay itinuturo natin sa susunod na henerasyon. It is because we would like to inculcate values to promote the common good.
For us at the NCCA, the value study we conducted and the National Values Program that we are currently developing are grounded on the intent of fostering common good. The value study was a platform to listen to people's input on what they value most. The program, on the other hand, is a process of revisiting, rediscovering, and recapturing those values which we hope will push for honing effective and responsive leaders, or simply just be productive and concerned members of the society. The Values Program will endeavor a whole of government and a whole of society approach. The reason why we are utilizing powerful forms of art such as animation, short films, or even teleserye. It is important for us to be able to communicate the values contained in our program in a subtle yet effective manner or in effective ways. So in behalf of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, I would like to express my gratitude to each one of you for accompanying us today and in moving forward. I truly believe that putting our hearts, our minds, and our hands together, we can touch the lives of our people through this values program.
But when this project came in, we were finishing up our last film, Hayop Ka. So I needed external talent to help us put this together. So I worked with mainly Rob Cham, who is a great comic book illustrator, to bounce around ideas on what to present to NCCA. We were also helped by Charlene Sawit, who wrote the script for Saving Sally, my other film, and we were also helped by Kevin Raimundo, another great comicero. They helped us out in the concept stage, and when a concept was chosen and we need to write scripts, I went straight to Carla Vergara, who I'm collaborating with on another film because we already know how to work together. So he took our stories, then structured it, gave it dialogue, and fleshed out the characters. As for the voice, I worked with Manny, who is my old friend and producing partner for many different projects. And he's not really a VO talent, but what I did was I recorded different DO talents and I asked him for one sample for variety, but his voice was chosen by the committee.
So I got involved in the project around early or mid 2020 when Direct Avid contacted me and asked me if I was interested in joining this project. And ang una ko talagang naisip, kasi sinabi niya it was supposed to be for kids. And it was supposed to be mostly in Filipino. Yung pagdating doon, writing in mostly Filipino and writing it for kids, especially for the NCCA, parang kinabahan ako kasi parang nagkaroon ako ng pressure kasi hininga ako, I don't write for kids generally. Direct Avid naman assured me na it's going to be like short scripts, ganyan. And parang sabi ko lang sarili ko, sige na nga, parang i-level up natin yung writing capabilities natin, take on a new challenge. And when I went through the stories na sinulat na conceptualize ni na Rob Champ tsaka ni Shardine Esguerra, parang okay naman, hindi naman siya masyadong complicated. I guess the main challenge for me during that time was the time limit for these animations because they're supposed to be super short. So yun yung initial kaba ko na kaya ko bang isulat ito, and at the same time kaya ko bang isulat each episode within the time frame.
The selection of the rocket ship is through the usual government process of procuring services. No? So we also process it through our tinatawag natin yung bids and awards committee. But the difference, because this is actually a creative work, is we did market study, of how what would be the cost and what would be the appropriate studio that can deliver the services that we have. So together with the team of the values and also even our lawyers and those who are in the know of what would be the expertise that would be necessary and what we want to deliver to our audience. So we set up certain criteria. So in terms of the relevance of the experience of the studio, in terms of creative storytelling, of course in the form of animation, then the quality of the work that they had done before, maybe because of they have awards or they have good track records, then of course the experience also working with government agency is an important criteria. So nagkaroon po ng series of parang discussion with a different team, then we opened the call for it. No? And I guess the the long and short of it all is we were able to choose the rocket ship to do this project for us. But I think unique to the project is really the guidance that is given not only by the Office of the Deputy Executive Director, but by the whole of the NCCA's management. So every step of the way, from the script to the selection of the character, so they present to us parang studies, different choices that the MANCOM or the management community would look at, as well as even the selection of the voice talent that would fit into the way we want the tone of the narrative. So isa siyang proyekto because this is the first that NCCA has endeavored into as a project, kaya medyo tiningnan po talaga siya ng management that it can go in the way that we wanted the project to move into.
Meron kayong yung mga manunood, bahala kayo ma-recognize kasi tawag namin sa research yung values composite yon. So yung rocket ship, parang ano yung pwede nilang ibigay na out of the box na ma-entertain kami, yung mga bata, lalo yung mga youth, no? Hindi ayaw nila yung parang mag-preach ka dyan. So, dapat doon entertaining enough, pero touching enough, and of course, medyo may maalala sila. So yung rocket ship, I think, with the numerous projects that they had this kind of output. It was highly recommended. And we saw that also in the process.
Thankfully, we had already completed a film during the harshest part of the lockdown. So we've already adapted our team to working from home and working remotely. So it was easy integrating this to the new normal. So challenges, I don't think the challenge would have been is since this is still a project, it was getting all the stakeholders approval at the different stages. So that was the challenge, as with any commission project. As for internally, work-wise, it was we thankfully just finished working on another long-form project about a cat. So you can say we have cat expertise. So it was easy to roll into this. It was just making sure that we keep within budget and within schedule.
Each project talaga is unique when it comes to writing. So with Heneral Tuna, the process is generally the same compared to my other projects. It's only the limitations ang nagbibigay ng variation. So for Heneral Tuna, it was supposed to be very short scripts. It was supposed to be for kids. This is supposed to be for animation. So iba ngayon ang magiging takbo ng pagpaplan or pagsa-structure ng kwento because this is not live action. So it's thinking a bit differently.
Nung pinili namin, kasi 19 originally yung values or ngayong 20, ano doon ang uunahin? Alam mo, ang context namin is the COVID. It's the pandemic. Kasi ang target namin, ipapalabas ito at palagay namin maaabutan itong panahon ng COVID. Kaya yung 7 values ay yung pinaka-relevant sa panahon ngayon. At tama nga yun, yung mga napili, yung family, halimbawa, pakikipagkapwa, resilience, health and wellness, yun, nilagay namin talaga doon, faith, no? Kasi ito talaga yung matingkad. Bukod doon, dahil itong mga 7 values, ito yung talagang parang core values ng Pilipino. Umiikot tayo dito. At nilagay namin yung culture, arts, and sciences kasi nakita namin yung ambag din ng creativity. At hindi lang yun, dahil ito, gusto namin exciting din yung magiging daloy ng buong realizations ni Heneral Tuna. Kaya in-include namin yung culture, arts, and science. So, siyempre, life and purpose kasi to give hope. So, basically, the context was in the time of the COVID and, of course, in terms of the priority of the core values of the Filipino.
You don't really isolate the value alone or standalone. So, like, for example, dun sa episode, which highlights the value of the family, you can see in the whole narrative that there are other values of how you relate with other members of the family and the community as a whole. So I think yun yung isang magandang approach when we use the medium of the art, no, in trying to ayoko na magsabihin to teach, no, but I think to share and to revisit our values, yung hindi talaga siya standalone dahil hindi naman talaga pwedeng mangyayari yun, no? The context itself of the culture, the situation where the characters would find themselves in itself expands the values. Actually, the set that we have identified based on the study, yung 20, is essentially a thematic lang naman siya. No? But yun ay punong-puno at hitik sa mga mensahe na nakapatungkol sa ating mga pinapahalagahan.
our main style peg that got everybody on the same page was this YouTube video of a cat talking about his day and how miserable he is with humans. So that was all we needed, just the diary of a grumpy cat.
Kung nasadya ito nila Avid o nila Cardo nung gumagawa yung script, pero tumiming siya kasi doon sa research namin, ang mga younger generation, yung mga millennials, no, they consider yung pets as family also. So yung identification. So if you have children and usually they have pets at home, madaling mag-identify at yung pagtakbo ng story na meron silang cat, na yung cat pala nila ay alien, hindi na na-realize. Parang seamless yon yung pagpunta from one episode to another. So ang galing nung kasi nung iningatan namin na yung mga research, no, at pati yung creativity, pasok talaga doon sa buong Heneral Tuna.
Kasi since the series is about learning, wala nang ibang mas curious pa than a cat, diba? Curiosity killed the cat nga, ayon sa kasabihan. And dog characters tend to be just perpetually happy, and that doesn't make for much drama. So yeah, so that's the short of it. Carlo would have and si Carlo is the one, since siya nagsulat ng dialogue, mas maraming parang mas masalita ang pusa kaysa sa aso. I mean, not that nagsasalita ang mga pusa at aso. Pero sa utak natin ganun sila.
Pero yung mga pusa naman, minsan nakahiga lang sila dyan, tapos titingin sa'yo, kala mo kung, alam mo yung gano'n, yung parang meron silang internal monologue habang tinitingnan ka, ganyan.
Gina-judge ka na.
Correct. Tapos yan yung mga, yung parang, tawag dito, yung alam mong meron silang parang, tawag dito, yung meron siyang, may strangeness about cats lang dun sa behaviors nila na kaya maraming mga videos sa social media yung mga pinanggagawa ng mga pusa nakakaiba, nakakaaliw na ganyan, na strange din ganyan. So I think having a cat for the lead character is appropriate for this project kasi nandyan din yung katulad sinabi ni Direk Avid na curiosity that's there. Pero at the same time, meron din siyang iniisip na iba yung ganon. Parang malikot lang yung utak niya, yung ganyan.
Went through a lot of different concepts from a young Jose Rizal to a robot to a school of tikbalang. So Heneral Tuna just ticked all the boxes of all someone who's entertaining and someone who is silly enough to watch. So sa akin, it's all about what is fun and what is ridiculous, and at the same time, pwede mo alam mo yun, para you're looking at something ridiculous pero habang tinuturuan ka ng something important underneath. So yun yung importante sa amin sa pag-craft ng character.
Anumang kwento ng inspirasyon ay laging napapanahon. Kaya't pakinggan ang aming storyang tampok ngayong hapon. Dito sa Sining Inspirasyon.
Hi mga kapadayon! Ako po si Rodolfo H. Gabriel II at ang aking drag name ay Precious Paula Nicole. Ako po ay pinanganak at lumaki sa Daet, Camarines Norte. At nung ako po ay maging 16 years old, pinursu ko po ang dream ko na maging isang professional dancer. At dun ko po nahanap ang isang grupo na tumanggap sa akin at nag-train bilang maging isang professional cultural dancer. Pero ngayon po, ako po ay 11 years na sa pagiging isang full-blown drag queen sa OBAR, Philippines. Noong nagsimula po yung pandemic, isa po ako sa lahat ng mga drag queens na apektuhan, na nawalan ng tahanan na pagpuperforman, which is yung mga bars po na talagang regular namin pinapasukan. Pero I'm proud to say na dito sa Pilipinas, isa po ako sa mga pinakaunang drag queens na sumubok na mag-Facebook live show. Kaya natutuwa po ako kasi ang dami-dami ng mga drag queens na sumibol ngayong pandemic. And alam ko na isa po ako sa mga naging instrumento nun. So, mensahe ko po sa mga kapwa ko drag artists na huwag kayong titigil, huwag kayong susuko, always practice your drag, your art. I'm so excited to welcome the new baby queens na na-discover ngayong pandemic. And I can't wait na makilala ko kayong lahat very, very soon. At ngayon mga kapadayon, panoorin niyo po ang aking performance bilang isang drag artist at performer at nagsisilbing isang sining inspirasyon.
Inayos mo yung law ng classroom nyo at sinabit mo ulit ay pwede na pala ikaw lumabas sa classroom ay batas bawal lumabas pero pag sinabi
palang malaman na galing sa internet memes ang isa sa naging inspirasyon sa karakter ni Heneral Tuna.
At nalaman din natin na hindi naging hadlang itong pandemic sa pagbubuo nitong Heneral Tuna. Dahil nga sabi ni Sir Arvin, resilient tayong mga Pinoy. Kaya naman naging resourceful tayo sa paggamit ng teknolohiya para maiparating ang ating mga programa tulad nitong Padayon.
Tama ka dyan, partner. Pero bago tayo magpatuloy sa ating talakayan, alam niyo ba na may inihandang sorpresa sa Heneral Tuna para sa ating mga kapadayon ngayon? Isang special na performance na dito nyo lang makapanood sa ating programa. Panoorin natin ito.
Ang pangarap kay sarap matupad. Kailangang maging tapat sa sarili. Huwag mag-alala, mahal kong planet Earth. Sa pangarap ko'y kasama ka rin. Oh, planet Earth, mapapasa aking ka rin.
It really started with being familiar with the summaries na binigay sa akin ni Direk Avid for each episode. And para sa akin bilang writer, because summary siya, so it's a very, very objective narration kung ano nangyayari. Ngayon ako, pagpasok ko doon sa script, when I start writing the script, ang una kong iniisip yung emotions. Paano mag-incorporate yung emotions dito sa summary na binigay sa akin. So doon talaga nagsisimula yung writing process ko. So when I started to write the events and the dialogue, I'm a very, very visual thinker. So ini-imagine ko na kung ano mangyayari. Sina-storyboard ko na sa utak ko kung ano mangyayari dun sa episode na yon. Tapos sinusulat ko na lang kung ano lumalabas sa utak ko. Generally, yun yung writing process ko. Pagdating sa values, I just take from what's in the summary. And then, ayun nga, yung parang importante kasi dito sa kwento na maintindihan ni Heneral Tuna kung ano yung mga values na yon. So the challenge really was to look at the character na, you know, katulad ng audience na bata, na trying to explore the world, trying to figure out the world. Pero at the same time, kasama din dun na I also wanted the writing to be something that can be that has something for people who are much older. Yung di ba yung nakakaroon in most recent years, nandiyan yung trend na pagdating sa mga animations, it's as it's for as big an audience as possible. So while I was thinking about yung audience na kailangan pambata ito, iniisip ko rin na kahit pa paano ma-appreciate din ng someone who's older na matutuwa din naman siya while watching it. Masasabi ko yung mga weird stuff na nangyayari sa totoong buhay. Yun yung mga nag-i-inspire sa akin. Lalo na yung mga karanasan at mga events na nagbibigay ng pagbabago sa ating pananaw, yung mga nagbibigay ng hugot, yung tinatawag nilang feels, yung ganyan. So mahilig din ako sa mga ganong klaseng kwento. And at the same time, for some reason, hindi ko maiwasan na maglagay ng comedy sa mga kwento ko kahit na seryoso yung topic na gusto kong ikwento. Hindi ko maiwasan lagyan ng konting katatawanan, hindi ko alam kung bakit. Pero parang naging bahagi na yun sa pagkakakilala sa akin ng mga tao when it comes to me writing stories.
In general, the Philippine animation scene, it's at its early stages. So right now we're just making stuff to make sure that there are more stuff made in the Philippines. So that's nandun pa lang tayo sa stage na gumagawa pa lang tayo, and hopefully more people can make stuff para magkaroon tayo ng we could create our own Philippine animation scene. Although if you want to go deeper, malalim ang animation industry ng Pilipinas, but it's mostly for outsourced work. So yung mga projects na ganito, it's special kasi it's Filipino animators making animations for the Philippines. Kasi buong history ng Philippine animation, ever since the 70s, it's mostly just doing doing work for foreign companies and doing work for foreign characters. So, which is a great source of income and employment for a lot of animators. Pero yun nga, we're at the very beginning of making our own stuff pa lang. So it's like in 100 years of Philippine cinema, we've had like less than 10 feature films na animated and wala pang 3 sa animated na series. So very, 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 very young original animation scene. We have an old animation industry, but our original animation scene is just starting now. So we're all here for it.
Paano may mga surprises, may mga katatawanan, meron mga twist, meron mga ganyan. Yung stuff that we don't normally see sa mga kwento natin. So at least it gives a new fresh face to the kinds of stories that we can tell.
Hopefully, if his adventures continue, he'll meet other aliens from his homeworld who also needs to learn stuff, or he'll meet new human beings who would challenge him or be the one who want to enslave him. I don't know. So just more hijinks and more kabalastugan. We hope you're as excited as we are for this series. Panoorin po natin ang Heneral Tuna at subaybayan ang adventures niya. Maraming salamat for supporting Filipino animation at mabuhay!
Super excited po kami na lumabas na yung series na to, at sana excited din kayo dahil nga maganda yung feedback na nakukuha namin sa social media. Panoorin po natin ang Heneral Tuna at subaybayan natin ang adventures ng ating bidang alien. So maraming salamat for supporting the Filipino animation industry.
Nag-uusap kami nila Sir Avid, si Sir Benji, Sir Butch, no, from the NCCA Committee on Cinema, at saka si Sir Yan. Sabi namin, ibitin mo Avid para merong aabangan yung mga tao. Tapos ngayon nakita ko si Sir Carlo, magandang ibitinin mo para merong clamor. At siguro yung clamor kasi, ang iniisip ko doon, magagamit kasi din siya hindi lang sa general public, pero ngayon meron tayong batas na GMRC and Values Education. That's with the Department of Education. At nung binanggit namin ito dun sa parang values formation or values program for the government, excited sila kasi pwedeng manganak ito hindi lang just for watching, but they can use this material especially for the graders, no, sa basic education para gamitin dun sa curriculum. So, kung 7 pa lang, how much more kung mabubuo namin yung 20 values? At hindi lang 20 values kasi yung values system naman natin napakarami talaga. Kasi composite ito. So, we're excited that it could be one of the series na kakaiba kasi hindi lang siya for entertainment pero may pinapakita siya tungkol sa pagpapahalagang Pilipino at lalong-lalo yung kulturang Pilipino na buhay sa series.
Attempt of the NCCA to approach the promotion of the values in this way. But since we only have covered 7 of the 20, definitely we would be really moving to complete them. But it would be dependent on how the audience, how the public would accept and would react to this initial animation series that we have. So I hope we will get really the patronage of a broader audience. Kasi ang animation naman does not really limit to a particular age, no? Kahit you are in advanced age, you still get entertained, but at the same time learn from what are the narratives that are being delivered or the messaging that is being delivered in this form. So I guess yun, no? So we will have to run this, we will have evaluation, but definitely we want to cover the rest of the values that are part of our research.
Isang makasining na pagbati sa inyong lahat. I think the message is clear. If we want children to value art, we must give them access to it early on. If we want them to imbibe the core Filipino values that bring excellence and creativity, we must give them a unique program that merges both. This is exactly what we will showcase with Heneral Tuna, a digital series brought to you by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts through its Filipino Values Formation program. This show will present our cultural values through the engaging and colorful world of animation, because sometimes the simplest message can be most encouraging, and the simplest platform can have the most profound effect. I thank everyone who have contributed to the success of this project. The NCCA Values Secretariat and Rocket Ship Studios, with filmmaker and animator Avid Leon Goren and writer Carlo Vergara. I would also like to thank all the members of the media who are here today. You've always been very supportive with all the projects of the NCCA, and this is one project that will really need your support. Thank you very much to all of you, and we hope to see your support as we launch Heneral Tuna this October.
Hi! Ako po si Catriona Gray, Miss Universe 2018 at NCCA Arts Ambassador. Abangan at nakakaaliw at nakaka-amaze sa pakikipagsapalaran ni Heneral Tuna sa kanyang misyon na sakupin ang planetang Earth. Handog ng National Commission for Culture and the Arts, NCCA's Filipino Values Program. Visit at Heneral Tuna Official sa Facebook at YouTube.
Maraming salamat po, NCCA OIC Executive Director Marichu Taliano, Sir Arvin Villalon, Direk Avid Yonggoren, Sir Carlo Vergara at Chairman Arsenio Nick Lizaso.
Gaano kabilis ba magbago ang buhay ng isang nilalang? Ang pinakahuling naalala ko, inutusan ako ng aming leader na pumunta sa planetang Earth para suriin ang mga Earthlings dahil balak naming sakupin ang buong planeta. Sa akin ibinigay ang misyon dahil ako ang pinakamagaling nilang general. Hindi ako nag-aksaya ng panahon. At dyan nagsimula ang lahat. Paggising ko, nakatingin silang lahat sa akin, isang grupo ng Earthlings. Mabuti na lang at naiintindihan ko ang lengguwahe nila. Ha, smart kasi ako. Ang huling bilin nung nakatatandang babae sa bata ay dapat akong alagaan. Ha? Bakit ako alagaan? Hindi ko kailangan ng pag-aalaga dahil ako ay injured. Sige na nga. Gagamitin ko na lang ang pagkakataong ito para obserbahan sila. Natuklasan ko na ako'y nasa isang lugar na tinatawag nilang Barangay Hiraya at kinupkop ako ng isang pamilya. Ito ang kanilang tatay, si Papa Peter. Ito naman ang nanay na si Mama Mel. Ang nag-aalaga sa akin ay ang anak nilang si Patpat na nagbigay sa akin ng bagong pangalan. Muning! Ang baho pero dead man na. At meron siyang nakababatang kapatid, si Potpot. Tingnan nyo naman ang napaka-cute na mukha. Gusto ko siyang... Pero wag muna, hindi pa panahon. Hindi lang sila ang nakatira dito. Nariyan rin sina Lolo Leandro at Lola Lea. Uy, may foods! Kung bakit ang dami nila sa loob ng isang bahay, hindi ko alam. O baka naman pinaghahandaan nila ang paglusob namin. May nagsabi ba sa kanila, kailangan kong hanapin ang mga armas nila? Pero, bakit nila ako inalagaan? Napansin ko rin, madalas silang nakatutok kay Potpot. Sobrang spoiled pala ang mga baby dito. Konting iyak, red alert na ang lahat. Ganon din ang pagtrato nila sa mga matatanda. Nakakasukang pag-alaga. Sa planeta namin, kapag nakakalakad ka na, hinahayaan ka na lang na humarap sa mabagsik na mundo. At kapag matanda ka na at wala ka nang maiaambag, wish mo na lang na deads ka na. Dahil hindi ka napapansinin o dadamayan. Habang inoobserbahan ko kung paano nila tratuhin ang mga sanggol at mga matatanda at kung paano nila ako alagaan, napapaisip ako. Ito ba ang ibig sabihin ng pamilya? Sama-sama ang lahat, nagdadamayan, nagtutulungan, walang naiiwan. Ito ba ang tinatawag nilang pagmamahal? At sa amin, walang ganun. Bakit walang nag-aalaga sa akin? Ano ba itong pinagsasabi ko? Lumalambot na ba ang puso ko? O dala ba ito ng inggit? Hindi maaari. Binabalaan ko kayo, Earthlings. Darating ang araw na matitikman ninyo ang unos ng aking kapangyarihan. Dahil ako si Heneral Tuna! Uy! Foods! May ilang araw nang nakalipas mula noong bumagsak ang spaceship ko sa Barangay Hiraya at marami na akong naobserba sa mga nakatira dito. Nakita ko si Patpat na may kakaibang ginagawa. Huwag kayong mag-alala, gets ng mga tao ang lengguwahe namin. Ang sabi ni Patpat, nagdadasal raw siya sa Diyos na sana'y maging mataas ang grades niya sa school. Itatanong ko sana kung ano yung pagdadasal at sino itong Diyos. Isa pa siyang invisible na leader ng Barangay Hiraya. Pero mukhang ayaw may istorbo si Patpat. Eh di wag. Dasal dito, dasal doon. Nag-interview ako ng iba't ibang tao. Tinanong ko kung sino si Diyos at para saan yung pagdadasal. Ang sabi nitong Ale ay ang Diyos ang lumikha ng buong universe. At nagdadasal ang mga tao para magpasalamat sa Diyos at para humingi ng gabay o tulong. Talaga ba? Ang sabi naman nitong bagets, nagdadasal raw sila ng maraming beses sa isang araw. Ang tawag naman nila sa Diyos nila ay Allah. Humihingi rin raw sila ng tulong kay Allah dahil ganon kalalim ang pananampalataya nila. Magician pala itong Diyos na to. Siya kaya ang susi ng aming tagumpay? Kailangan ko siyang makontak. Baka sakaling matulungan kami sa pagsakop ng buong Earth. Nang sa gayon makilala ng lahat ang tanyag na galing ni Heneral Tuna! Tinanong ko si Lola Lea kung totoong sinasagot ng Diyos ang mga dasal niya. At nang sinabi niyang, dumoble ang excitement ko. Paano, Lola Lea? Paano ko makokontakt ang Diyos? Nasaan ang instructions ng pagdadasal? Kinuwento sa akin ni Lola Lea kung paano siya tinulungan ng Diyos na humarap at lampasan ang iba't ibang pagsubok. Ilang ulit na siyang nagkaroon ng mga banta sa buhay, pero dahil sa pananampalataya niya sa Diyos, ginabayan siya. Binigyan siya ng lakas ng loob at katuwiran ng isip. Ang sabi niya, ginagamit daw ang pagdadasal para magpasalamat, hindi para magdemanda. kundi para humingi ng gabay at para ipaalala sa atin na ang lahat ng nangyayari sa buhay natin ay may dahilan at magandang aral. Kung pananatilihin at patitibayin daw natin ang relasyon natin kay Diyos, mas lalong gagaan ang kalooban. Anong silbi nun sa akin? Pero ano kaya? Hello? Diyos, may signal ba? Heneral Tuna to. Diyos, hindi pa tayo magkakilala eh. Hindi ko alam kung nasan ka o kung totoo ka man. Pero kung ikaw ang dahilan kung bakit ako nag-survive, kung bakit kinapatpat mo ako binigay, kung bakit mayroon akong masarap na foods. Yum, yum, yum. Salamat. Totoo ka pala. Nakailang linggo na ako rito sa Barangay Hiraya at parang ayaw ko nang umalis. Kaya lang paminsan-minsan napapanaginipan ko ang Planet Ming at ang aking misyon. Dami na namang tao. Anong meron? May piyesta daw? Uy, may dalang masarap na amoy ang hangin. Kailangan mag-investigate si Heneral Tuna. Excuse me po. Ayan maghalang ako. Ang tawag ni Manay Femi sa niluluto niya ay pansit hiraya. Namumukod tangi raw ang pansit hiraya sa ibang klasing pansit. Dahil may halo itong suka at crispy chicken skin, nagmula ito sa kanyang mga ninuno noong World War II. Ginamit raw ng mga ninuno niya ang balat kasi mahal ang karne noong panahong yun. Pansit na may chicken skin at suka? Anong lasa nun? At bakit may iba't ibang klaseng pansit? Ang sabi ni Manay Femi, ang bawat lugar ay may kanya-kanyang kultura at kanya-kanyang pamamaraan sa paggawa ng iba't ibang bagay. Sa Pampanga, may pansit luglog. Sa Cavite, may pansit pusit. Sa Malabon, may pansit malabon. Pansit patong sa Cagayan, habhab sa Quezon, patos sa Bicol, molo sa Iloilo, ang bami sa Cebu. Ang dami-dami! Ginagawa pa rin raw niya ang pansit hiraya bilang pagbugay sa mga ninuno nilang nagsakripisyo ng buhay para sa bayan. Kasama ito sa pagkakakilanlan sa Barangay Hiraya. Di tulad sa amin sa Planet Mingming, iisa ang lasa ng pagkain at lahat ay galing sa lata. Wala ring kwento. Sa bawat sangkap na inilalagay ni Manay Femi sa kanyang niluluto, unti-unting nag-iiba ang amoy nito. Ang pagluluto raw ay isang sining. Sining ka dyan, Manay Femi. Wala namang silbi ang sining-sining na yan. Para sa akin, mukha siyang scientist at ang pagluluto ay isang siyensya. Pero sa planetang Mingming, ginagamit lang ang siyensya para sa digmaan. Dito naman, ginagamit ni Manay Femi ang sining at agham para magsama-sama ang lahat para sa ikatutuwa ng lahat. Walang ganyang sa planetang Mingming. Kakaibang lasa! Naglalaro sa aking bibig itong foods. Ang bawat sangkap na nilagay ni Manay Femi ay may ambag sa kabuuang lasa ng pansit. Ang lutong at alat ng chicken skin, pinapaikutan ng lambot ng noodles at asim ng suka. Isa siyang himala! Anong nangyayari sa akin? Napoposes na ba ako? Grabe ito! It's so nakakahiya! Ako pa naman si Heneral Tuna! Dead man na. Masaya naman.
Para laging updated sa mga kaganapang pangkultura, bisitahin, i-like, sundan, at mag-subscribe sa Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter account, at YouTube channel ng National Commission for Culture and the Arts sa @NCCA Official.
Dito sa programang hatid ng National Commission for Culture and the Arts, kami ugaling samahan tuwing Sabado at Linggo, alas 3 ng hapon.
Maraming salamat sa pagtutok sa aming programang nagbibigay ng kaalaman.
Sa programa nagbibigay ng kasiyahan.
At sa programang nagbibigay ng inspirasyon. Ito ang
Padayon the NCCA Hour. Sulong na!
Padayon